Hey everybody, it's Banner Terrell and I'm back with another Banner Builds video. Today we're not going to be doing building. We're not going to, there'll be some stuff on the side, but mostly we're going to be working on scripting because I want to introduce you guys to a powerful, massive, epic tool that someone introduced me to recently that has revolutionized the way I write scripts. It's called Cursor. Uh, it's a, it's a integrated development environment for writing software, and it can be used for any language. I think it's based on VS Code, but it has AI capabilities built in. But it's way beyond using, say, ChatGPT to have it help you write code. It it's like having an entire development team working for you, and not just a coding team, but a design and a planning team as well. It does all kinds of stuff. So I'm not going to waste time explaining it to you and talking about it. I want to show it to you. So we're going to do a practical example, and we may extend this over time and add more features and turn it into something more robust. But I wanted to take a simple script that we could start with something like this. This is going to be called, well, not called. This is a door. So we're going to do a door, and I made the door of two prims. The big prim on the right, which let's go ahead and color that. Select. Let's just go edit link. We'll pick that. We'll make it look blue. That's going to be the door, and this over here we're going to make look to pink. That's going to be our um, the door frame or the hinge or whatever. So it's going to pivot at this point on the left side of the blue door. It's going to pivot there, and it's going to connect to this. Now, I don't know that we need all these pins. We may not need it. So I'm going to ask the AI what's the best design for this too, as we're going through this. So let's go ahead and jump in here. And as you can see, this is Cursor, and it's just empty right now because there's nothing really created. I started a new project, and I've got one file, and the file's called door.lsl, and there's nothing there. And it's just a text editor. So if I wanted to, I can come in here and start writing my code and see it's already telling me default because it knows what LSL is. So I can say default. Oops, I can't type. And caps on doesn't have. See, I got that. And then tick, there we go. So it's already telling me that I could do state entry. So I can just do that. And so it's got default. I don't know if you can see this well. It's really small. Let me see if I can increase that view. Zoom. Where is zoom? I thought it was a view. That's weird. It was there earlier, so I zoomed in before. Anyway, so we'll figure that out. But it says it's just normal bare bones script right here. It says LL door open. So it even knows I'm working on a door. So it says door open here in state entry. Okay. So we've got the starts of our script, but there's no AI agent here. So how do I get to that? Well, there's a lot of different ways. It's normally in a panel over here on the right side, but that panel's not here. So I can find ways to doing it. There's like 16 different ways to do it. But one of the big things here is you have to like search for commands. And I hate that, but there's other ways to do it too. But this is I'll let you know a little secret. I don't know how to use this tool, right? So I had to learn. So how do I learn? I asked Copilot. I said, "Hey, Copilot, I'm using Cursor and I'm doing this. What do I do? How do I create a new project?" It told me. I said, "How do I create a new file?" It told me. I said, "Okay, I don't have an agent here. How do I get the agent here?" It says, "Oh, this is what you do." So you do Control Shift P, and it opens up this panel so that you can find different things. And so what you want to do is uh, open chat because it uses a chat interface. And so you have a bunch of different options here. So you can open a chat in multi-diff editor. You can open new agent chat. You can open chat storage folder, chat as editor, blah, 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 chat in agent mode. So it has an entire mode for that. It has a thing called chat in ask mode. So there's plan mode. You can say, oh, I want to plan a project. So you can go open a chat and plan mode. But we're just going to pick open new agent chat. And so it brings it up over here. You can resize this if you want, make it smaller. Right now it's pretty big. And so um, this is your chat area is right here. It says plan, search, build anything. And then this drop down says agent. But if you pick that drop down, you could actually go into those other modes like planning mode or background or ask. Ask Cursor questions about your code base. And so that, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to ask a question. I want to create a script or system for second line for a um, door. I want you to tell me the best design and simplest way to implement it. Currently, I've created two objects linked together. One is called door and is the physical door plan. The other is called door plan and made is intended to be where the hinges would be and the anchor point for the door. If I do not need this, or there is a better way, please tell me. I want the door to open when clicked, close when clicked, and automatically close when after a set timeout. I want to be able to uh, mm, define or set the closed state, position, rotation, etc., and the open values for those in a way that is easy for the user to do without requiring a lot of editing or build and knowledge. Please think this through and then tell me the best approach, the best design, and how we try to implement it. Once we have a plan, we can start implementing it. If I need to change my design for the objects in Second Life, please tell me and recommend what I should do and how it should be named, etc. And then that's it. Okay, so I'm going to read that again. I want to create a script or system for Second Life for a door. I want you to tell me the best design and simplest way to implement it. Currently, I've created two objects. I need to say objects linked together. One is called door and is the physical door prim. The other, I'm not going to take out the word physical because it's not physical, is the door prim. The other is called door frame and is intended to be where the hinges, I spelled hinges wrong, would be and the anchor point for the door. If I do not need this or there is a better way, please tell me. I want the door to open when clicked, close when clicked, and automatically close after a set timeout. I want to be able to define or set the closed state position, rotation, etc., and the open values for those in a way that is easy for the user to do without requiring a lot of editing or building knowledge. Please think this through and tell me the best approach, the best design, and how we can implement it. Once we have a plan, we can start implementing it. If I need to change my design for the objects in Second Life, please tell me and recommend what I should do and how it should be named, etc. Okay, let's hit enter and see what it tells us. It's probably going to say, I don't know what you're talking about. Now it's thinking, and it says a bunch of stuff that you can't really read because it goes by so fast, but it's a conversation that it's having, and it's like very interesting to see. It says, thought for 4 seconds. I'll help you design the best door system for Second Life. Let me first check what you have in your current file. Read door.lsl, which is empty. It just has state entry, right? And it says, thought for 15 seconds. Great. Let me analyze your requirements and provide the best design approach for your Second Life door system. Best design approach. Ooh, and it's just scrolling. So look at all this. Look at it go. Look at it go. Wow. Implementation plan. We'll go through all this, and then recommended script structure, what you need to do in Second Life, ready to implement, and it has a checklist. All right. So, okay, we'll go back up here and start at the beginning. Best design approach. Object structure. Check. Your current design is good. Your two-prim link set approach is actually the correct way to do this. See, you have to have a little bit of knowledge about how to do things before you start because that helps, right? But I don't know how much you have to have. So, here, your two-prim link set approach is actually the correct way to do this. Here's how it should be set up. Root prim equals door frame. This is your anchor hinge point. This should be the root prim of the link set. Script goes in this prim. Should be positioned where you want the door to rotate around. Child prim equals door. This is the actual door that moves. This is a child prim in the link set. Will rotate around the root prim's position. To verify, set the root prim. When you link objects in Second Life, the last object you select becomes the root. To select the door first, then shift select the door frame, then link. The door frame should be root. See, it's even telling you how to build it in Second Life. Okay, then it says recommended implementation plan. Best approach. Smart auto learn system. I recommend a hybrid approach that's both simple and flexible. Method 1. Simple configuration, recommended for most users. Script automatically saves the door's current position as closed when it starts. User defines just 2 to 3 simple settings at the top. Open angle equals 90 degrees to rotate. Open direction equal 1 or -1 for reverse direction. Auto close time equals 5.0 seconds before auto closing. Method 2. So it's giving me 2 options here. That was method 1. Method 2, advanced learn mode, optional enhancement. User can manually position door to closed, link to learn closed. User can manually position door to open, click to open, learn open. Stores both exact positions. Why method 1 is better for you. User-friendly, position the door closed in build mode, drop in script, done. Simple, only 3 numbers to change. Flexible, works for any door angle, any rotation axis. No building expertise, users just change degrees times values. Technical implementation details. How it works. 1. Initialization. Script identifies which prim is named door. Store current location rotation as closed_rot. Calculates open_rot by rotating closed_rot by open angle degrees on z-axis. Click handling. Toggle between open and closed states. Smooth rotation using LL set primitive params fast. Start timer when opening. Auto close. Timer fires after auto close time seconds. Closes door if it's still open. Stops timer. And then it says advantages of this approach. Check. No complicated quaternion math needed by user. Check. Works with doors at any orientation. Check. Smooth rotation animation. Check. Low lag using fast functions. Check. One script handles everything. Check. Easy to customize. And then it has implementation plan. Phase 1. Basic structure. Set up link set properly. Door frame as root. Create script with configuration constants. Implement prim detection. Find door prim by name. 4. Store closed rotation on startup. And then phase 2. Core functionality. 1. Implement click to toggle. 2. Add smooth rotation using LL set link primitive params fast. 3. Track open close state. Phase 3, auto close. 1, add timer functionality. 2, timer starts when door opens. 3, auto close after timeout. Phase 4, polish. 1, add sound effects, optional. 2, add open close announcements, optional. 3, test edge cases. And then it says recommended script structure. Here's the outline. And then it shows an outline of the script. And then it says what you need to do in Second Life. 1, select your door prim, then shift select door frame, then link. I've already done that. This makes door frame the root prim. It already is. Make sure the door frame is positioned exactly where you want to hinge. It is. The door will rotate around this point. Position your door in the closed position. It already is. The script will learn this position automatically. Name your prims. Root prim, door frame, or anything script goes here. Child prim, door. Script will find this by name. Already done that. Ready to implement? This approach gives you check. Simple 3-variable configuration. Check. No complex building knowledge needed. Check. Automatic position learning. Check. Professional smooth rotation. Check. Click to open close plus auto close. Would you like me to create the complete script based on this design? I can build it step by step and provide the full working version right away. Let's go with the full working version. Let's go with the full working version. And we can always backtrack if needed. And then it says designing a door script for Second Life, planning, next moves, and a bunch of stuff is there. Thought for 4 seconds. Perfect. Here's the complete production ready door script. See how fast it was? It's already done. Here's the complete production ready door script. Just copy this into your door script in Second Life. And it's writing the script in front of us as we can see it in this view. Now I've never seen it do this before where it actually writes in this window. Normally I see it writing over on this side in the editor. So I'm kind of curious as to why it's over here. Why is it not putting it in there? That's weird. How to use in Second Life. Make sure your door frame is the root prim. I did. All right. Customize optional. Drop this script into the door frame root prim. Customize optional. Change open angle. Click the door to open below. Features included, and it's got a list of all the features. The script is ready to go. Let me know if you want to adjust any behaviors. Let's. How do I switch that? I don't even know. Let's go back to agent. I don't know. Let me copy this before I do anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy. Ooh, I can't. I'm gonna say. I don't know if this will work. Please update my existing dual.lsl script with the above code and keep it version. User is asking me, I'd love to help you update the file and set a version control, but you're currently in ask mode, which only allows read-only operations. To update your door.lsl file and set a version control, you'll need to switch to agent mode. In the meantime, here are 2 options. Manual update quick. Simply select the content in your door file and replace it with the script I provided above. Option 2, switch to agent mode. Switch to agent mode, update file automatically. Okay, let's do that. Switch to agent mode. Switch to agent mode. I did that, switch to agent mode, and I can update the door file. And please update the door.lsl script with the code you created. I don't need to do all the rest. We're just doing that. It works with Git, and I already have my Git repository stuff set up. So the big project that I'm working on, it actually checks my code in and commits it to Git either automatically or when I want to. So like I just finished beta 1 of my code base. And so I had it commit as beta 1. So it created a branch called beta 1 and committed all my changes in there. So I said, okay, please update the door.lsl script with the code you created. Perfect. Now I can update the file directly. Let me replace the content of door.lsl with the complete door script. And there it is. And it comes in as a change. So you'll notice it's like an add. So this red was the original code, and it's deleting that. That's why it's red. And then the green is that it's going to add all this. And Normally you have to do, it says git status, but I don't really want to do this in git. So but if you look down here, that's not working. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this. Run that. Fatal, not a git repository for another thread. Okay, thought, great. Let me initialize and create a first. Okay, so it noticed that there was no repository for this. So it's going to create a repository. So you have to click run. And now it's going to do that. It says initialize empty git repository. I need to navigate to your project directory first. Let me reinitialize the git. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then it says ran command. Let me use the PowerShell syntax. Okay, so we're going to do that. Run. This might not work. I don't know. Initialize empty git repository. Perfect. Now let me add the door script and create the initial commit. Run. There we go. So it's updated this into my Git repository. Okay. So then it says, I need to do that. So we're going to click this. This is all stuff that you do at the beginning and you set stuff up. So excellent. Let me do a create git ignore file for your LSL project to keep the repository clean. And we're going to say run that. Perfect. Let me verify everything. Okay. Run. So it actually runs all this stuff in a PowerShell. It's like a little mini Unix window. All done. Your door script is ready and version control. What I've completed. So now if I have round trip stuff set up between Second Life and this editor, you can click a button in Second Life and it'll fire this up. But I don't like using that. It never works well for me. So it says, okay, here's what you need to do. Go ahead and do this and drop this script in. So I want to go over to this. I'm going to copy everything. Then let's go back to Second Life. And I'm going to go in here and edit it. And this is the root prim. So we're going to say content, new script. And we will delete everything that's there and paste it and then hit save. And there we go. We have a script. And it tells me in my little door initialize, click to open close, auto close 5 seconds. Okay, so it's pivoting around the center point um, of the door instead of at the end of the door, right? So I knew that would happen because that's a common thing that happens in Second Life. So I have to tell it that and then see if we can figure out what to do to solve it. That's one of the problems that I wanted to create. But do you see, we already have a semi-working door. All right, here, let's go. Okay, great. Only one problem I see so far. The rotation is at the center of the door, not at the edge that is closest to the hinges / door thing. This is a common issue in Second Life scripting for Windows. Do you know how to fix this? Think it through and take your time. Ah, this is indeed a classic Second Life door problem. The issue is that when you use your prim rot local, blah, 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 blah. It's thinking. It says planning next moves. Planning next moves. Store both. It says a bunch of stuff. So, and it's got to do stuff and calculate the math and do a bunch of other stuff. So it's thinking. And then it's done thinking. Thought for 29 seconds. Excellent catch. This is indeed one of the most common issues with door scripts in Second Life. You're absolutely right. The door is rotating around its own center instead of around the hinge point. The door's whatever. And then why is it writing it here? I've never seen it do this before. key changes. Oh, it says it's just showing me the changes. And it says, would you like me to update your door.lsl script? Yes, please. Please update door.lsl. And I'm seeing this over here, this little 6.5% context use. I don't know what that means, but I know Cursor has a free version that has a limit to how much you can do, and then a paid version. I'm on the paid version, so I'm hoping this is not telling me that I've already used up 6.7% of my available stuff, because I've been working for the last 4 days, 3 days, nonstop, on my other project, and I never had any problems, so I'm kinda curious, but we'll just keep going. Now I'm up to 7.2%. This seems like what it's doing. It seems like that's a limitation of how much I can actually do. It also tells me that there's an update available. Okay, so you can see what it's doing. It's making changes in my code, and it's doing them with version control, and, like, edit, what is it called? Track changes turned on. So here's a green thing. So it added these 2 lines. I can actually come in here and say, keep this change. And then down here, you're seeing that it replaced that line with this line, and it replaced those lines with these. And I could review this if I want to, but I'm not even going to bother. I'm not going to bother. We'll let it figure out what's wrong. So it says right over here, excellent. Now let me commit this important fix to the version. So this is not how it worked on, I think, because I'm using version control. When I did it before, it just said over here, it had keep all. So you can click that and we keep all the changes. I think this is going to commit the changes. So, yep, it did. It committed the changes and updated the document. And it says commit run. I don't like it doing all that. So, okay, perfect. The file has been updated and committed to version control. What I fixed. All right, so let's do the same thing. Control A and Control C. We'll go back over here and we'll put it in the script. Control A, delete, Control V, and we will save. Let's see if it actually works. Nope. Hmm. Mm. Let me put it back where it was and reset the scripts. Maybe I need to do that. Let's go edit object copy. We'll do this one and do paste. Then slide it back to here and do content reset scripts. Now I don't know what it's going to do. Oh, it worked. Look at that. All I had to do was reset it, and we have a door. Look at that. All right, let's check the auto close. Click 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. Okay, that doesn't seem to be working. Right? I didn't see it work. So let's go back over here. The door works will open and closing manually, but the timer based auto closing did not work. I waited at least 10 seconds. And let's see what it says. The user says it doesn't work. So it's thinking, it's thinking, it's thinking. Wait, I see the issue. Look at the timer logic. Look, what timer logic is in the script? Here's the timer logic. And here, boom. So it says, I see the issue, and it thought for 20 seconds, says, good catch. Let me check the timer logic in the script. I see the issue. The timer logic has a flaw. thought for 2 seconds. I found the bug. The timer logic has a flaw. When the timer first fires, the auto close delay checks if this open, okay, it does a bunch of stuff. I don't even care. And the fix is we need to track whether we're waiting for auto close or not. Let me add a simple flag. Okay. And there's the changes. And then it's probably going to ask me to commit them again. Thought for 1 second. No linter errors found in door LSL. Perfect. Let me commit this bug for you. Okay. All right. And then do that. Excellent. I found and fixed the auto close problem. The problem, the solution. So it actually tells you reiterates what the problem was and what it did to fix it, what changes it made, and shows you Git history. And then tells you what to do next. Okay, so we're going to come back over here. I'm going to Control A, Control C. I'm going to go into the script. I'm going to edit it, save it. We're going to run reset scripts on it just to make sure. And let's test it. Click, opens, click, closes. All right, click open. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Boom, it closes. And we're done. Now let's look at what the script is. And we'll see how well it's documented and everything. So here's your script. Everything's documented incredibly well. It's formatted very cleanly. And there you go. So we have a fully functioning door script that you don't have to physically edit the object to set it up. Because, okay, and say it doesn't work right. Say it's slightly not correct. All I got to do is go back and tell it what it's doing, describe the problem to it. It'll fix it and send me back code that will make it work. So that's way faster than actually making physical changes to this thing in world to get it to work right. It's mind-bogglingly simple and amazing. So we now have it's working. It works perfectly fine. So, all right, now let's try something a little more unique. It's not going to work in here, but I just want to show it to you. So, Second Life is introducing a new scripting language called SLua. It is based on a Luau scripting from Roblox. Are you familiar with this? If so, please make a new version of this script named door.lua and rewrite it fully to work in SLUA syntax, taking advantage of any benefits of that new language. Go ahead and do it, and let's see the results. See what it does. The user is asking about SLUA. Yeah, well, let me think about what I know. Okay, I'm familiar with the concept of SLUA, but let me search for the latest information about its syntax and API to make sure I give you accurate code. So it's thinking, and it's thinking, and it's thinking. Confirm search, Second Life, SLUA scripting language, Luau, API documentation. Wow. It says confirm search this, and it says continue. So I think I have to click continue. Sometimes it'll do that. It'll ask you for input, and it's not so obvious, but yeah, just look for those little blue buttons and then that said, good. Okay, did it. And then it says, confirm search, set permission. Okay, continue. Searching. Web, SLUA, Second Life API functions, set primitive params, touch, start, timer, examples. Oh, okay. So it's actually looking for the way that code's implemented through some examples that it can find on the internet. Okay, great. So I have some. Whoa, okay, that wasn't ready for me. All right, thought confirm search this example on touch to continue. I don't know why it's asking me to confirm that, but I'm already up to 9.4% of my whatever it is. Confirming, says search for a bunch of stuff, thought for a second, confirm search. Okay, I gotta click continue. Search for web, wiki.secondlife.com, SLUA syntax, events on state entry, coroutine example. Coroutine example. Okay, great. Now I have a basic example. So the structure is functions, blah, 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 blah. Perfect. I found enough information about SLUA. Let me create a modern SLUA version of the door script based on what I've learned. SLA uses blah, 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 blah. Let me create our door.lua. So Lua right now, SLUA only works in the beta grid as far as I know. I'm not sure when they're bringing it to the main grid. Um, but I was told by the end of the year, so it should be coming soon. But anyway, we're not going to be able to play with this. I just wanted to do this to see if it would do it, and so as you're going forward, you'll have the ability to do either LSL or SLUA. Says okay, warnings are expected. Run command to we're committing it to Git now, and then good okay, and then it's going to ask me to do that. Commit. So it added it and then it commits it. That's what it does. Okay, perfect. I've created door.lua. And then over here we have door.lua. And then it talks about it's better organization. It talks about the advantages. So this is so great for learning too. It does a side by side. Isn't this awesome? Look at this. So it says, perfect. I've created key improvements in the SLUA version. Modern Lua Luau syntax. Clean, readable code with proper table-based configuration. Uses local space properly for better performance and encapsulation. String formatting with string.format for cleaner messages. Coroutine-based autoclose. And it shows a local function autoclose routine and a bunch of stuff. Much cleaner than LSL's timer-based approach. No complex timer state tracking needed. No auto-close pending flag required. Coroutine handles the delay elegantly. Better data organization. First-class functions. Functions are proper first-class citizens. Easier to test and refactor. Can be easily extended with callbacks. Proper namespacing. All Linden functions under ll.namespace. No pollution of global namespaces. Follows modern scripting best practices. Performance benefits. Faster execution. Better memory efficiency. No timer overhead. Side-by-side comparison. Features. And then it shows the LSL version and the SLUA version. How to use the SLUA version. Get SLUA access. Download SAUL enabled second. It even tells you how to do it. Go get the SLUA enabled Second Life viewer. Log into the beta grid. Visit the sandbox region. Install the script. Configure the script. And then as you get history. And so there's over here on the left, this is our SLUA version of the script. Oh, sorry. Yeah. This is the SLUA version of the script here. And it's got purple. It's got more colors, right? And here is the LSL version of the script. This is a little shorter. This one's longer, but that's part of the syntax too. It's just bigger. But anyway, so now you have both LSL and SLUA of the same thing. And we didn't write a single line of code. We didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to do anything in here, and it works. Anyway, so I hope you can see the potential for this. If you guys want to, if you have any questions or comments, or you have some advice or suggestions, or you have some other ideas or some things that we could script, some project that we could take on and do together in these videos to help us all learn together how to do this and do it efficiently and effectively, I'm all for that. Anyway, so this is the game that I've created. It's called Feudal War 2. It is a card game like Magic the Gathering, very similar to Magic the Gathering, but right now this version doesn't have magic, it just has combat. So, but it has all kinds of features and functionalities. I've been working on this for a month or two. It's very complicated, and I'll show you the SL, the project for it. So let me go back to File, Open, Recent. And I'm also curious to see if that little meter goes away because I paid for this. So this is Feudal War. This is my project for Feudal War 2. It says I'm 33.3% of the way. I've never seen this before, so I don't even know why it's doing that. I don't know if it's 33% of my allotted time or 33% of my project. I have no idea what it is because I pay, it's like $20 a month. If you prepay for the year, it's $16 a month. And it was well worth it. So I don't know how much you get for that, but it hasn't been a problem yet. I've been working my, you can see over here, these are all the functions I've got. Oh, and here's that file I was telling you about. This is called LSL syntax rules. And so this is the document that it creates that has all the information about LSL syntax that it can do, can't do, things like that. And so it put them all in this. And so like this document contains mandatory rules for LSL code. Like for example, forbidden syntax, no ternary operators. This is wrong. This is the correct way to do it. No break statement. This is wrong. This is the correct way to do it. And it's machine readable. I mean, human readable, so I can come in here and understand it too, right? Um, what else does it have? Things like when it designs something new, it creates a document that explains to me what this new feature does, how the feature was implemented, what are the it's like a design document for all of my code. So this is on AI Manager. This is called the cannot block marker implementation. I put a new feature request in and said, okay, let's do this. And it wrote up this document when it did it. Critical fixes, critical state management, how to do discards, and refreshing the implementation summary. So this is the implementation summary for the project, and you can see it's quite large and quite extensive. Um, and this is memory optimization. How are we optimizing the memory? And these are all the different scripts. So there's my AI manager script, my card texture manager script, combat manager, communications manager, crystals manager, spec manager, game setup manager, HUD, the HUD, man, I only have one script, listener scripts, main script, play manager scripts. So those are all the scripts that in the game. And you can look at like the main one. Let's look at the main script. This is the main script. It's long. It's 1,137 lines. So what would happen is, you get up about 1,200 lines in a script and LSL, you're going to start running into stack heap errors. So I did that. I got in there and I got a stack heap error. So instead of me having to hunt that down, I just came back over here, went into my little agent window and said, hey, we got a stack heap error on this. And it came back and said, oh, I see why we're doing this. We need to optimize that. This is too big. We need to split this script into things. So let me find something we can pull out. Oh, look, I found this chunk of functionality that we can pull out and put into a different script. And it says, here's how I would do that. Would you like me to do it? And I said, yes. And boom, it goes off and does it, splits my script, creates a new script. And I didn't have to write any of it. And then like my play manager script, oh, it got too big. So it says, okay, let me pull out some stuff. And it'll do that. And it's smart and it figures out how to best optimize it. And so when I'm actually done and I have everything working the way I want, I'm actually going to come back and tell this now, optimize this script so that it's close to machine code. So you can actually compress all my code down into it. It won't be very human readable, but it'll run extremely efficiently and take up less memory. I can have it do that. There's so many things that you can do with this. It's absolutely like I said, it's like having a team of people, right? You don't even have to sit down and write code. I didn't write a single line of the code for that door, right? And I haven't written any code in this in 4 days, and it's written all of it since then. But I had a really, really strong foundation, a really, really well-defined architecture for what I wanted to do. And I know LSL really well. So I can help it and I can tell it because I know what you need to do. I would say, do it this way, and it will go and do it and write the code for me. But many times I've asked it, how should we do this? I want the, and basically it comes down to, I just tell it what features I want. And so now I'm at the point where this game, I can say, oh, I don't like the way we're handling the refreshing of a hand after you play a card. Let's rewrite that so that it doesn't clear the hand and rebuild it, that it just changes the individual cards. And it says, okay. And it takes about 20, 30 seconds. It comes back and says, here's what we did. I made these changes in these 5 different files. Um, just copy and paste them into your script and it'll work. I said, okay, I don't like the way this graphic appears on the HUD. I want to do a different graphic. So I went to Comfy UI. I created the new graphic using Comfy UI, which is an AI editor that I have on my computer here, to create the image. And then I said, okay, the image is going to be called this, and I want this image to display on these cards in these situations. And so it said, okay, I understand what you want to do. It makes perfectly good sense. And sometimes it'll ask you questions. Oh, should I do this or do you want me to do that? It'll give you options. It'll ask for clarification. And you can tell it, don't make any changes. Just confirm what we're going to do with me before you do it. And it'll do that. And it'll say, okay, here's what I think we should do. Do you want me to go ahead and do it? Yes, go ahead and do it. Boom, it does it. And it's all version controlled. It's all committed on my builds. It's all done so I can manage it. And I can always revert back and I can always get it uh, to a working state. And so that's what I've done. And I just got to a point where I was said, okay, everything's working the way I want it for beta 1. Let's call it beta 1. And we committed it to Git as beta 1. So anyway, that's where we're at. And so I hope you found that as cool as I did, that we were able to create a door without knowing how to write the code, without doing any coding ourselves, just by talking to it and telling it what we wanted. It told us what to do. It told us how to build it in Second Life. We could have started this with nothing but a blank page, and it would have told us exactly what to do and helped us get there. It's just amazing. Now, if I want sound effects, I can go to Suno, which is an AI app for creating sounds, and I can tell it what sounds I want. I want a cool door opening sound, right? And it'll give me the file. And then I can say, okay, um, put that in my Git repository. And then I can get the URLs to it from my Git repository. I can come back to um, Cursor and I can say, okay, here's the sound. Here's the URL for the sound that I want to use. Oh, no, actually, Second Life, you have to have the sound. So I would download the WAV file into Second Life, and I would give it the name. So here's the name of the door sound. It's this name. I have this WAV file. And please add sound effects to this. And it would go back in like a few seconds, it would come back and say, okay, I've updated the script to include sounds. You need to do this. Upload the script, upload the sound file, drop the sound file into the contents, and update the script. Stuff like that. It'll tell me to do that, and I'll go and do it, and then my door will have sound effects. Anyway, maybe that's something we can do with this project. Anyway, I'm going to kill the video here, but anyway, please let me know if you like this or you thought it was cool by liking my video, subscribe for more, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out when I post another one.